This is Christopher John Bjerknes. It is April 12th, 2025. Donald Trump has just proclaimed that he is the chosen one, meaning the Messiah of the Jews. He has just openly admitted that he is the Christ returned as the Antichrist. So let's take a little ride, and I'm going to explain all that to you.
So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. And you know what? We're winning because we're the piggy bank. We're the one that all these countries, including the European Union, wants to rob and takes advantage of. European Union, $200 billion. China, more than $500 billion. Sorry, I was put here by people. I was put here by people to do a great job, and that's what I'm doing.
When Donald Trump said that he is the chosen one, he's saying that he has been chosen by God to play the role of Jesus Christ, the Leviathan, Satan, who has made his second coming and returned to earth to kill us all off. And the primary role of the Messiah, son of Joseph, in Kabbalah is to lead the Roman Empire and the reborn, reincarnated Roman Empire of the West into absolute annihilation, extermination. And the way that he does this is by tricking the reincarnated Romans, the Americans, the British, Western Europe, into going to war. And he has now isolated America from the rest of the world. And he is going to lead us, the Leviathan powers of America and Great Britain, into war with the behemoth powers of the entire rest of the world, so that the rest of the world destroys us. I predicted all this would happen. I've been saying that this is Donald Trump's role for the past 10 years before he was even elected in his first term. And now he has confirmed by his actions and by his words that I was exactly right. So who is Messiah, son of Joseph? There are two Messiahs in Jewish mythology. There is the Messiah, son of Joseph, who is the reincarnated soul of Satan through Satan's child Cain that Eve bore to Satan, that was passed along and reincarnated to Esau, and then was passed along and reincarnated to Jesus, and now it has been passed along and reincarnated to Donald Trump. Then there's the Messiah, son of David. The Messiah, son of David, has the soul of Abel and Seth that was passed along down to King David. And from King David, it was passed along to Shabbatai Zevi and Jesus Barabbas. And that Messiah, Messiah, son of David, really is itching to make his appearance on the world stage and proclaim himself as king of the universe and take God's place. And in order for that to happen, the Gentiles, the primordial chaos of the world, all descended from Satan, like Jesus Christ, all descended from Cain, have to be exterminated and completely annihilated, removed from existence, as if they had never been in the first place. And they have to be blotted out because they are the Amalekites, and the Jews are commanded to blot them out. Who is it that blots them out? It is Messiah, son of Joseph, being played by Donald Trump, who blots them out by becoming the leader of the Second Roman Empire of America, the leader of the Leviathan of Satan, and he's a treacherous leader, just as Jesus Christ was, who enters into the world of the Goyim, the Gentiles, and gets them to disbelieve in all their ancestral great gods, which had made them great in the first place, and instead believe in him, and he is Satan. And then he leads them into war and suicidal self-destruction. And I said that Donald Trump is playing this role, and that's precisely what he's going to do 10 years ago, and now it's happening. And he himself has said that he is the chosen one, this Messiah, son of Joseph. Cyrus was another of the reincarnations of Cain as Messiah, son of Joseph. And so Trump is leading us into war with the behemoth, and he's ensuring that the whole world is going to side with the behemoth against us to completely kill us off. And this has been the plan all along, ever since the book of Job was written. And the book of Job describes these two monsters as a cryptic code to represent two great empires that the Jews would create and subvert with their leaders, and then they would bring them into war with one another as the Leviathan and the Behemoth, the great monsters of Job 40 to 41. And in this war, they would mutually consume and destroy one another. So in order for that to happen, they had to gain control of all the leaders in the world, as they said they would do in Deuteronomy chapter 7. And then they have to pit all the Gentiles who are brothers under Cain against one another to mutually kill each other off. And Donald Trump's doing a real good job of it, as is Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. And so we are headed towards catastrophe, absolute catastrophe. And the Kabbalists are all aware of this. They're calling Donald Trump the reincarnation of Cyrus. And they are pitting the whole world against America quite successfully through their agent, Messiah, son of Joseph, Donald Trump, with his tariff games and with his attacks on NATO and on Ukraine. So again, I predicted all this 10 years ago. I told people the solutions on how to keep Trump from getting elected. Nobody really wanted to help. Nobody wanted to take action. So that's the situation that we're in right now. We're headed for our extermination. There's still a way that we can save ourselves from all this. Everyone should be protesting what Trump is doing and trying to restore our traditional and historic alliances. The whole world will be less likely to attack America and bring us into a mutually consuming World War III if America once again has allies. and once again is the leader of NATO, not the subverter of NATO. Beyond that, we have to hedge our bets, and we have to start a new society that represents our best interests instead of representing Israel's best interests, and one which is not led by the treacherous Messiah, son of Joseph, Donald Trump. If we don't do that, this is what's going to happen. Israel is going to build the third temple of Solomon. Donald Trump is going to do his best to lead the Roman Empire into self-destruction, precisely as Jesus Christ led the Roman Empire into self-destruction and brought about the Dark Ages that only ended when Europeans had the Renaissance and went back to being like the Romans and even more so like the Greeks. But Trump is ruining all that, and the people around Trump are calling themselves Christians. This is all Kabbalistic, sympathetic magic to kill us all off. So if Trump succeeds in getting us into a war with China, he's already entered into the war of the financial economy, which is now starting to spill over into a war in the real economy. People's jobs are being lost. Production and manufacturing is being threatened. And this is eventually destined to head into an actual shooting war in which all humanity, except for a one-third remnant of Jews, is slated to be exterminated. This has been their plan for 2,500 years. This is the coded plan of the book of Job, which only I have decoded and deciphered and explained. And I've been explaining this for 30 years, and people had better start to pay attention, because we are on the cusp of the complete annihilation of humanity, and it absolutely does not have to happen. But in order to stop it, people have got to act. And I am proposing that we do everything we can through the normal political channels and spheres, but that we hedge our bets and create a new society, and that we further guarantee our survival in that new society by recruiting and tapping the best people, the most skilled and talented, gifted people, professional people who know how to construct weapons that will be vastly superior to all present forms of weaponry so that we can defend this nation from the inevitable attacks that they will wage against us, that we further guarantee our survival by immediately starting to collect sperm specimens and egg specimens and keep them properly preserved in sperm banks and egg banks so that we can regenerate our people in the event of a horrible calamity. We do it with the seeds of plants. It's absurd that we're not doing it with the seed and the eggs of human beings. And we also need to preserve samples from the graves and other remnants of our deceased ancestors, so that if our DNA becomes so terribly corrupted by all the attacks they are inflicting upon our DNA, we can regenerate humanity from the DNA of our ancestors. This has all got to start to happen immediately. Everything I have been predicting for 30 years has come about. So my model works. And the probability that what is about to happen is precisely what I said is about to happen is extremely high. I have always said they are following the prophecies of the Old Testament, of the Midrash, and of the Kabbalistic works. And I've been able to predict, based upon that model, everything that is happening. That model, that script, ends with our complete destruction and the destruction of creation, the destruction of the surface of the earth. Everything around us is slated to be annihilated because it is called by the Kabbalists Olam Hazeh, this present world in which we live. And it has to be completely eradicated in order for the Jews to establish what they call the world to come, Olam Haba. That is their messianic age. That is their Jewish utopia. That is the Jewish mission. That is Tikkun Olam, rectifying the world by eliminating it and eradicating the Gentiles, who are supposedly the seed of Cain, the children of the devil, who keep the Jews from entering their messianic age. If you want to survive, if you want your children to survive, if you want there to be another 6,000 years of humanity, another several 100,000 years of humanity, you have got to take control over your own fate. You have got to work together with others to stop this. And the only way that a coalition of people is going to succeed is if that coalition is comprised of the very best who are presently helping Messiah, son of Joseph, and Israel to annihilate the world, so that we draw them out of the sphere of being our enemies and into the sphere of being our protectors. And we can then defend ourselves from these horrible enemies and survive all the attacks that they may wage against us. Now, these two figures, Messiah, son of Joseph, and Messiah, son of David, Messiah, son of Joseph, descended from Satan. Messiah, son of David, descended from David, descended from Abel and Seth. These two messiahs are further divided into their front side and their back side. There are the two Jewish messiahs. There is a Jewish Messiah, son of Joseph, whom I've always said is Benjamin Netanyahu. And then there is the hidden Messiah, son of David. And then they even fight among the Ashkenazim, the Mizrahi, and the Sephardim as to who that is. But then there are the Gentile counterparts. The Gentile counterpart of the Leviathan side, which is the side of Messiah, son of Joseph, the Gentile counterpart to Netanyahu is Donald Trump. That is why they are so close to one another. And they have the same soul, but it is the front side and the back side, the anus of that soul. Netanyahu is the front side, the face of the Messiah, of the soul of the Messiah, son of Joseph. And Donald Trump is the backside, literally the anus of the Messiah, son of Joseph. And he is Jesus, who infiltrates the Roman Empire to become its leader so that he can subvert it and kill us all off. And guess who helps him do that? Messiah, son of Joseph, of the face of the soul in the living body of Benjamin Netanyahu. So Israel is helping to bring down America by openly utilizing America as its tool, which angers the rest of the world to commit genocide against the Palestinian people. And in this way, just as Trump's tariffs do, just as Messiah, son of Joseph, Trump brings the world against us by furthering the attacks on the Palestinians and the Iranians and the Houthis, and with his terrible tariffs and his betrayal of Ukraine and betrayal of NATO and attacks on Canada and Greenland and the Western Europeans and NATO, Benjamin Netanyahu, the face of the soul, is furthering that of this union of America with Israel as the Leviathan, so that the whole world hates America and unites to destroy America. But this Messiah, son of Joseph, only represents the interests of the Jews. So this is all done not to help America, but to bring down America by utilizing America to defend Israel and attack the rest of the world. They are, of course, very duplicitous, and they are also in bed with the behemoth powers, and they have the behemoth Messiah, son of Joseph, and that is represented by Xi Jinping. Now, Putin plays a very interesting crossover role, having elements of the soul of both Messiah, son of Joseph, and Messiah, son of David, of the anus side of Messiah, son of David. We don't know who the face of the soul of Messiah, son of David is, who the actual Jew who is slated to become king of the universe is. But it is quite apparent that on the Eurasianist behemoth side, it is being represented by Putin and Xi. But Putin is also in league with Chabad Lubavitch and with the Ashkenazi Messiah, son of Joseph, chaos side of Satan, together with Trump and Netanyahu. Putin, Netanyahu, and Trump are all Chabadniks and all represent the Jesus side. That side has to be crucified. That side has to be removed from existence. So Barabbas, Jesus Barabbas, Messiah, son of David, can take his throne and steal the soul of Cain and steal the soul of Satan, the highest soul of Yehida Mashiach, the soul of Tohu, the soul of primordial chaos. So if that's what you want, keep doing what you're doing. and welcome your demise. The Christians are certainly helping to bring all this about, playing the role of Leviathan. The Muslims and the communists, communist Chinese and the communist Russians, are playing their scripted role as the Messiah, son of David side of the Gentile side of the anus of the universe. And they're succeeding quite well in fulfilling all of their prophecies. If you don't want that to happen, you better start helping me out, and you better start helping yourself out to build up some kind of coalition and raise international awareness that this is exactly what is happening. And I am the one who decoded it, and I am the one who knows how to get out of it. I want to thank my extremely generous contributors who enabled me to get a little bit of new equipment. Hopefully the sound on this video is much improved from my previous two cruising vlogs. And that's not due to my efforts, that's due to the generosity of my contributors. I hope you are all as grateful to them as I am. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of this, so look forward to that. Like, share, and subscribe, as they say. If you would like to contribute, you can do so at my website. I'm Christopher John Bjerknes. My website is my initials, CJBbooks.com. No spaces, hyphens, or dashes, just straight out CJBbooks.com. You'll find a link to it in the description. I'm also going to be branching out into Instagram, and I'm going to be doing quick short videos on X now that I have some decent audio equipment that'll make that much more efficient and much more enjoyable for you guys to watch. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see all you great and wonderful people next time. Goodbye for now.